Hi, I'm Joe,
And I'm Lance.
and we're the SAR guys. Today we're going to be talking to you about team dynamics. Each team, when you're out on a search, has several individuals and they have a job. And typically we have teams of 4 people, and their jobs are the team leader, the navigator, the communicator, and then the safety and observation.
Yeah.
So Lance and I will tell you about each of those functions.
Yeah. So one of the big things is if you're going to be on search and rescue, you got to be a team player, and to be able to for a team to operate properly, you got to have a leader, and the leader's got to understand the people that are around. That's the reason why we train a lot, is so I can know what Joe's strengths and what maybe he has some weaknesses that I've got to watch out for as a leader, and everybody on my team, they're all individuals, so I need to know what their strengths and weaknesses are also. So we need to make sure that we're looking at that. Uh, be able to communicate, talk and listen. That's one of the beauties of being on SAR that I love, is it's being with people and you're all going out to get a specific job done, and to be able to listen. Joe's a lot smarter in a lot of areas than I am, and so if I'm the team leader and Joe has something to say, it strengthens me as a leader to be able to listen, and then for him to be able to communicate back to him. And so it's very important that as a leader, you don't get just stuck. This is my way. It's my team. You're going to do it, and I'm just going to whoop you right on through the mission. We got to slow down and say, hey, team, here's an obstacle. How do we get over it? And so, get out of that tunnel vision and open up and say, hey, I've got all this to do. Because as a leader, you're really the key link between your team and command. And so you need to be able to communicate everything that's going on with command back to your team, so you have that cohesion going on, so everybody knows what we're doing. And then as we go out on the trail or through the bush or knocking down briars to go to the area that we need to go on, everybody understands, I know why I'm doing this.
Right. And sometimes we've been on missions where we're out 4, 5, 6 hours, and some of the team members get frustrated and tired. And it's always reassuring when the team leader reminds us, hey, this is what our job is.
Yeah.
This is what we need to do. Let's not stray from
Yep.
that. Let's not get worried about anything else. Let's get a little bit
Yep.
more focused and move on.
Absolutely. And sometimes as a team leader, you need to know when you're getting tired, and you got to give yourself your own pep talk and say, hey, I got to get back in the game. Why? Because my mission needs it and my team needs it, and that's how we all get home safely and we're successful on our missions. And it makes it, you know a grueling task, but still it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And that's why you're such a good team leader. I
I
like
don't,
being on your
I
team.
don't know about that, but
So the next position we're going to talk about is the team navigator. And the team navigator carries a lot of equipment. Everybody on the team that should have
yeah,
the GPS and their phone and a compass, but the navigator's job is to focus on that.
yeah,
Don't worry about what's going on here and there and everywhere else. They need to know where we're going,
yeah,
how we're going to get there, and where we are at any given time. And so they got to focus on that and not necessarily look at all the other things
yeah,
that are going on. And they need to know how to use that equipment, and everybody on the team should know how to
yeah,
use it. Make sure you know how to use your GPS and your compass and your maps if you're using them. And quite honestly, most of the time we don't carry maps with
yeah.
us because we're using the Sartopo map or we're
Mhm.
using the GPS
Yeah,
map. That's the navigator's job, is
yeah,
just stay focused on that.
yeah. And I think that's the key word is the focus, because the next area is the communicator, but it's everybody communicates, everybody understands the maps and stuff and knows what's going on, but it's their job to be able to be that highlight or that spotlight for that specific job. So a communicator is the one that's going to be running the radio between command and your team, and it makes it nice to have one appointed person, and in that way command knows who they're listening for, and that person can be focused on just that radio. And granted, they're still looking, they're still searching, but they're going to be keyed up to that. If you have a four person team or 10-person team, you don't need to have 10 radios squawking as you're going through the forest. It's just no sense in it. Have a couple people. As a team leader, I want to have my radio on. It'll be really low. My communicator, he'll have his radio on, and maybe there's a person we have along, and there might be a person at the very back that might have a radio on. But not all the people in the whole team need to have the radio on, because there you have your redundancy. Everybody's got a radio, so if one fails, now you got another one, and batteries aren't dead. There's no sense in it. So know your radio, know how to use it, know how to use plain. Our teams, we don't use the old codes and the radio talk. We just talk, and be able to do it. Understand how to use it. Push the button, wait a second, take a deep breath, whatever you do to be able to communicate what needs to go on.
And the communicator works close with the navigator as well, because command will, every 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes half hour, command's going to call and say, where are you?
Yeah.
Give us a location. And it's up to the navigator to have that at his fingertips, pull out his GPS, be able to read the coordinates, and give those to the communicator who's already ready to look at it. And sometimes we just have the navigator will just turn their GPS around and let the communicator read that to them. So that's the way to do that. And the next position that we have is really everybody's job, and it's safety and observation. And the safety and observation person, they're focused on the terrain, looking for obstacles, kind of looking ahead, seeing, oh, there's a river ahead, we're going to have to do a crossing, we might need to move. The other thing is they're looking at the health of all the people on the team. If you notice somebody snags their leg on a berry and it's bleeding, or somebody hurts their knee, and a lot of times the searchers aren't going to say anything. The observer is looking for those kinds of things. They're looking at, look at the team members, you're looking at the environment, you're looking everywhere. If you see something, it's okay to say stop. And I've done it many times. We just say stop, and then everybody figure out what's going on, what you need to do, what the problem is, and how you need to fix it. And as I said, everybody on the team is for safety and observers. Anybody on the team can say stop. If they see a situation that's dangerous or looks like we might be heading into some kind of trouble. But the person that's designated, they really got to look for that. Look for people that aren't carrying equipment properly, or just all different kinds of things. So
absolutely,
that's the health and observation thing.
Because I mean, how many times do you go out on a mission? You're out there, and we all do it. We get tunnel vision, and you've been out there for 4 or 5 hours, and we really haven't taken a break. And are you searching to the full capacity at that point? No. You're going to say that you're green, but really you're down in that yellow. You need to take a 10-minute break, rehydrate, get a power bar or whatever you need to do to get back out there and have your focus on what needs to get done.
Right. And you just hinted at something that we haven't mentioned before, and that is we talk about green and yellow and red, and what that is, that's called SAR-GAR. And GAR is green, amber, and red. And when command asks you what's your status, you tell them what you are. And is everybody good to go? You have no issues, you're green. Somebody is pretty tired and they need a water break, you can say that you're yellow or amber and say, we just need to take a little break and we're going to hydrate and move on. Or somebody fell down and broke their leg and you say, we are now red. We are not able to function. We're going to stop. Times like that, command will stop the operation for your team and then figure out what they need to do to get you back to command or back to a green or amber status.
Absolutely. And this is just how our team functions. And I'm sure most teams are going to have similar functions. But just like we say all the time, know what your team does. This is what helps us to stay organized out on the trail, because, if you have too many heads, you're going to end up having adversity out on the trail. You need to have one solid leader. You need to have these places in place so you can have success. It's not about, well, who's better or who's not. Sometimes for communicators, I'll pick the weakest person to communicate that doesn't have a lot of experience, and then I'll appoint, hey, Joe, I want you to buddy up with this person to train them how to be a good communicator. And it works great. Right. Know your mission and how valuable each time is, but know your people and let's make a successful search and a successful evolution that day. So.
Right. And it's all about teamwork. And
absolutely.
We've got a great team. I think we make a great team and move on. So
it's a lot of fun.
Hopefully you found this video useful. Well, if you like it, give us a like down on the bottom there and make a comment if you feel like we missed something, or
Yeah.
there's a question that you have of how we do
Yeah.
things.
Hopefully you liked our new mics. One comment was that our mics were a little bit wonky, but we got new mics. Joe bought some mics, and so hopefully you like those. So the guy that just commented on that, hey, we appreciate it. We can take constructive criticism. We're new at this. We're
Yeah.
having fun. It's something that's a passion of Joe and I's, and so we're just trying to add to the world of search and rescue and help people out.
Okay, and we will see you out on the trail.
See ya.